27.
27.
27. Okay, so we've done 26, right? We've done more than half of the first chapter, which is good. Do you remember what date we started? Does anybody?
Yes, Mataji, I remember, but I have to go back to the phone. Means
It was Ram
Oh,
Navami.
I see. Huh?
It
Say
was
that.
Ram Navami when we started, I believe.
Was it? Oh, did we do that? Oh, no wonder. Okay. All right. Okay.
I may not be right. Think so.
Khyati Mataji will know. Is she there on the call?
No, not yet, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah, that's a question for
She has
Khyati.
started, okay.
Uh,
Yes,
okay. So, Suresh Prabhu, are you going to create the reading order?
yes, I am.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, Mataji.
All righty. All righty. So, I'm going to post it here so that those who are leaving. Yeah.
Khyati Mataji is here. Hare
Khyati
Krishna.
Mataji
Hare
here?
Krishna. Good to see you.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Is
And
Khyati Mataji, Neral Prabhu joining?
I don't think so. He's still.
okay. So whenever he joins, maybe he can come in the order with you like that, right? Khyati,
Yeah.
makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So without much ado, maybe we should get started at least with the prayers. And Vigyapti Panchaka, I think I will just bring it up, Suresh Prabhu, because we are working on that other thing.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Maybe we might just bring in the Vigyapti Panchaka the night before.
I am ready.
Okay, you want to do that? You want to do that? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to wait for you.
The Nitya Sankirtan page is not working.
It's not working?
Mhm.
Okay, let's see. Okay, we'll address that later, but I'll just start the screen from here because we can't afford to wait for that to happen. And I'm bringing up the Vigyati
Got it.
Panchaka. And I'm going to now make it a little bit big. Can you all see it clearly?
Yes.
Mother.
Okay. So we'll do the morning ritual of reciting from this. And before that, okay, Chaitanya Priya Mataji is also there on the call with us. That's very good. And Suruchi
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So good to have you. And Suruchi Mataji, thank you for joining the call. This is amazing. Okay. And then we have Sutapa. I need to rename. Somebody can spend some cycles with Sutapa Mataji today and tell her how to rename herself on WhatsApp. That'll on Zoom. That'll help. That'll help a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for doing that. And we'll get started. Om Ajnanatimarandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Matsamo nasti papatma naparadhi cha kaschana parihare pilajjame kim bhuve purushottama yuvatinam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvatau yatha manobhi ramate tadvan mano me ramatam tvai bhumau skalita padanam bhumirevaavalambanam त्वयि जातापराधानां त्वमेवा शरणं प्रभु गोविन्दा वल्लभे राधे प्रार्थये त्वामहं सदा त्वदीयं इति जानातु गोविन्दो मां त्वया सह राधे वृन्दावनाधीशे करुणामृतवाहिनी कृपया निजपादाब्जा दास्यं माह्यं प्रदीयताम्. And according to the reading orders, we are going to now read the translation. So going back up again. And who can?
Okay, can I get the reading order out?
Yes, please.
So first Priti Radhika Mataji, Charu Mataji, Ishwari Radha Mataji, Sutapa Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Khyati Mataji, Suruchi Mataji, Suyash, Manasi, Chaitanya Priya Mataji, and then Shraddha Mataji.
Okay, good. And all of you are in a position to read, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, Soni Mataji, you'll be able to read? Sonia Mataji? Yeah. Most likely, she might skip. So that's good. And when her turn comes, we'll just, if she can, we'll move to the next person. All right, let's get going. And I have to make it a little bit big, right? For you to
Yeah.
see. Okay.
Perfect. O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
Hare Krishna. Just as the ground is only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavan, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
Hari Bol. Okay. So any words that come to your mind from the prayer that we did today?
Please
Dasya.
let me do the service at your lotus feet.
Let me do the service at your lotus feet. Okay. What else?
And whose feet have slipped, their only shelter is Krishna.
Krishna himself, isn't it? Isn't that wonderful?
It is.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. And when I first came across this prayer, it was like, ooh, I never thought it that way. So we are also stereotyped into thinking things in a particular way. Yeah. What else? What else?
Mataji, can we have that page in front of us?
No. No, the page is gone. The time is
Oh,
the time is over for that. Yeah.
You are the only shelter of those who have offended you.
You are the only shelter of those who offended you. Okay, good, 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 good.
Paragraph where as the young women are attracted towards men and men towards women, it's very let me be attracted towards you alone, Krishna.
Your lotus feet. Yeah, yeah. And welcome Manasi to the call. And I also see Rohit Prabhu is watching us on YouTube. And I also see Dilip Bhai Prabhu and Vidyavadhu and Neha Mataji is watching us on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining the call.
And Mother, when I slip, you only give me the shelter. And whenever I slip, you are the only one who gives me the shelter.
There you go. There you go. Very nice. Okay. So let's get to the next section of our morning session, and that is reading from the first chapter of Bhagavad-gita. And I'm just going to start sharing that with you real quickly here. And if you can see that, please confirm that the font size is good enough.
Yes.
Yes, Mother.
Make it a little bigger. Does it make it better?
Enough.
Okay. All right. So who's going next?
Varshana Mataji.
Yes, Mother.
Okay.
Observing
Yeah.
the armies at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Text 1. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assemble in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. Hare Krishna.
Text 3. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Here in this army are the many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yuyudhan, Virat, and Drupada. Suruchi Mataji.
Yeah, she might not be able to speak. Go ahead. Next person.
There are all there are the mighty Yudham or fifth. Okay, sorry. There are also great heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashi Raja, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, and Saibhya. There are the mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
But for your information, O best of Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and sons of Somadatta called Purishrava, who are always victorious in battle.
There are, hello, Anybody? There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all are experienced in military science. Text 10. Our strength is immeasurable, and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited. Very good.
Hare Krishna, text 11. All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic point of entrance into phalanx of the army. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grand rise of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like roar of a lion, giving Draupada joy.
Giving Duryodhana joy.
Oh, sorry. Giving Duryodhana joy.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Hare Krishna, no problem. Who's next?
Yes, Mataji.
Is it me? Okay. After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells.
Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya, Arjun blew his, the Devadatta, and Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Pondra. King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosh and Manipushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupad, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O kings such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells.
Hare Krishna, text 19. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra, drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra.
Sanjay said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, Just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here.
Who goes after Sutapa?
Text 26. There Arjuna could see within the midst of armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. When the son of Kunti Arjuna saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, He became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Hare Krishna.
Text 28. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning.
I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only cause of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsman in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers in law, grandsons, brothers in law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight even with them, even in exchange of for the three worlds. Let alone this earth, what pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune, and how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen?
Text 37-38. O Janardhan, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we? Who can see the crime in destroying a family, engaging in these acts of sin? Text 39. With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion.
Hare Krishna, text 40. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted. I'm hearing something. And from degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Varanasi, comes unwanted pregnancy.
It's a O descendant of Vrishni. That word is Vrishni.
Vrishni.
Vrishni, yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Comes unwanted progeny. 41. And an increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life for both the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performance of offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
Okay, so just wanted to quickly check, was somebody trying to say something? I heard a few. Okay, if not, then that's good. Let's go to 40.
Charu Mataji's turn is after Priti Radhika Mataji. So if now Charu Mataji is reading after Chaitanya Priya Mataji, then we can skip the next one, I guess.
Okay, so who you tell us who should read 42?
Yes,
who should be going in?
yourself, Mataji.
Me? Okay. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell.
Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts. Driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield.
Ishwari Radhika Mataji.
Oh, we're just reading 1 now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, 2, right?
She read 2 already.
Because Shraddha Mataji only read 1. Priti Radhika Mataji just read 1.
No, I read 2.
She read
Right
2.
now?
Yeah, I read 2 also, I think.
Oh, Krishna, I'm like lost. Okay.
Come back.
Therefore, if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield, Sanjaya said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief.
Okay, good. Good. Very good. So we have finished reading the first chapter. So I wanted you to share what words, we read the whole chapter, right? What words struck your mind from the whole reading that we did?
Just one word?
Yeah, one word is good because we have so many today here, which is good. If each one-
Battlefield.
Battlefield, okay, good.
My mind is reeling.
Mine was reeling, okay.
Madhusudana.
Became overwhelmed with compassion.
Overwhelmed with compassion, very good.
Behold, Partha.
Behold, Partha. All right, then.
O son of Kunti.
No son of Kunti.
Harishkesha.
Rishikesha.
Exchange of 3 words.
Okay, in exchange for 3 words.
O
Janardana.
infallible one.
Infallible one, okay. And who's the infallible one?
Achyuta.
Achyuta.
All right, everybody say Achyuta.
Achyuta.
Achyuta, Achyutam Keshavam. Right?
Krishna
Okay.
Janmandanam.
All righty. Okay. So let's go into the verse that we have for today. And what's the verse number today?
27.
27.
27. Okay. So just give me a second over here. And I wanted to bring up something real quickly just to check something here. Okay. So I'm going to ask you some questions here. So can you answer what's coming up on your screen here?
Pole.
One person has responded so far. 2, 3. So for those of you who are watching us online on Facebook or / YouTube actually today. So the question is that Krishna never fails in the affection for his devotees. Because of this, he's called what? Is he called Keshav? Is he called Preshav? Is he called Madhusudana? Is he called Achyuta? Is he called Yashodanandana or Rishikesh? So you can type in your answer on the YouTube chat box and I'll look at that later. Okay, is everybody done? 4 and 5. I've received 5 responses. I should get a little bit more. Yeah, don't be shy. Just go for it. What's the big deal? The worst case is you might not get it right. I've got response from 6. Have you got 6 stations connected today on the call? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 should be there. I should get 9 responses. 4, 5, 6. I've got 6. So 3 more. Who is left? 3 more. And then there are 2 questions in this poll, right? Fallen means when the living entities are under the clutches of dash. That's the second question here. And so 6 have answered. Now 7 have answered. Okay, 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Just extend your hands towards your device and give the answer. 8, very good.
Sonia Mataji might not respond.
Might not, yeah, I'm just thinking she might not respond. So for 8, we'll just go and end the poll for 8. Okay, Sonia will share the results with you. Krishna never falls in his affection for his devotees because of this, he's called Keshav. 2 people said that. Preshav, 1 person said that. Achyuta, 4 said Achyuta. And Rishikesh, 1 said Rishikesh. So what's the correct answer?
Achyuta.
Achyuta.
Achyuta. All right, Achyuta. Fallen means when the living entity, oh, you all got that right, huh?
Yeah.
In the control of mind. Okay, very good. So,
So you are teaching well, Mataji.
you're understanding well, you're retaining it well. Okay, so this is good. Now, let's go now into the verse for today. And So there won't be much reading there, but let's see. And sharing the screen with you all here, or trying to at least. Okay. And whose turn is that?
I think Sutapa Mataji.
May I read, Mataji?
Oh, okay.
Tapa's turn, then let me read. Yeah.
Text 27. Tan shamkya shaya kanteya sharvam bandham avasthitam kripya paraya vishto vishidam idam abravrit.
Yeah. So this is like there are two N's over here, right? So when you pronounce it, you Vishidan, you'll go like that, right? Vishidan idam abravi, like that.
Okay,
Okay. Good. Who's going to give us the synonym?
Varshana Mataji's turn.
Varshana Mataji's turn to give us the synonyms. All right, Varshana Mataji, here we go.
Tan, all of them. Samiksha, after saying, Sir, he, Kontaya, the son of Kunti, Sarvan, all kinds of, Bandhun, relatives, Avasthitan, situated, Kripya, by compassion, Praya, of high grade, Avishta, overwhelmed, Vishidan, while lamenting, Idam, thus, Abravit spoke.
Okay. Give us these two one more time. These two words.
Praya,
Yeah.
Parya.
Paraya.
Parya.
Paraya.
Of high grade. Avishta.
Avishtaha. Okay, good. Got that. Who wants to go for the translation? Who's in order?
My turn, Mataji.
Okay, go.
Translation. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
Who wants to do the purport?
My turn, Mataji.
There is no purport, Mataji.
Okay, I did that on purpose. All right. So what happened there? Okay, so what did you hear? So
Arjuna became overwhelmed with compassion.
Arjuna became overwhelmed with passion. With passion?
With compassion.
With compassion? Okay, good. And what was the word for compassion that was used there?
Kripya.
Kripaya, right? That's why we stopped at that verse to emphasize, because that's the main verse for today. Kripaya, right? So what exactly does compassion mean? What are your thoughts about compassion? Let me switch off this light because sun has come. And I should not waste electricity. Okay, yeah.
Showing mercy.
Okay, so then you know what I'm going to ask you next, right?
His mercy.
Yeah. So what is compassion?
Which verse was that? I'm so sorry. I lost the screen.
27.
Okay,
27.
thank you. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah. When you have compassion, so what is that? What's going on in Arjuna's mind? Like when we say he's full of compassion, what is he thinking?
Mataji, I don't know if the compassion in this situation is not meant for serving Krishna's purpose, right? So usually compassion is something good that you want to do. I mean, according to Arjuna,
just give the material. Just give the material. But just give the material on what is he thinking. Like when we are saying that he's doing compassion, right?
He doesn't want to kill anyone. That is what he.
Right. So he has got some concerns, right? That if he's going to kill them, then there'll be some suffering that will come on to them, right? Right. So compassion is something that you feel in your heart for that. Okay. What else?
Pain, in this sense, in this one where I read.
Okay.
You empathize with somebody else's suffering, so you feel compassionate.
So that there are some feelings that are happening inside you, right? So you observe something, and then because of that, there's something that goes on.
And
Yeah.
Arjuna's feeling that he's about to do something wrong, which is against his own principles, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, those are additional feelings that could be a slight, maybe a guilt that you're hinting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just wanted to wanted to focus on the fact that we are talking about compassion because the verse talks about compassion, right? So compassion is a feeling that Arjuna will have, right? Some sort of a feeling he's having, right? Which we said that, okay, maybe he's thinking about the pain that others will go through because of that, right? Because of his killing him and, like that. So those are the feeling that is coming in his head because of that. Okay. Any other thing that you remember from the...
Yeah, Arjun doesn't want to kill his loved ones, so he's trying to show compassion
Mhm.
and trying to be like kind and gentle with those souls.
With those souls? Okay.
And in the vein of
I,
what, sorry, Vishamata, you go ahead.
no, carry on, Beta. Please. Sorry.
So in the vein of what we have been discussing for past few days of the behold or eyes and seeing. So in the translation, it said that Arjuna saw his friends and well-wishers and he was filled with compassion.
Very good. Yes. So we were continuing on the scheme of seeing. He says he saw all these different grades of friends and relatives. Right. He became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Okay. So where is that? Where does which word is there here? It talks about the seeing.
Kripya.
Yeah.
Seeing. About seeing.
Samiksha.
Samiksha.
Samiksha. Yeah. Iksha. Iksha has got to do with the eyes, right? So, yeah.
Shamiksha.
Yeah. Samiksha. So he saw that, right? So when he's seeing that, and what is he seeing? He's seeing all kinds of bandhuns, relatives, and avastithan, they are there in front. And then he gets filled with very high level of compassion. And then he gets overwhelmed. What's the word for overwhelmed?
Abis.
Avishta.
Avishta.
And then not ha, it is avishtaha. Ta for, yeah, like that. So ta for, yeah. So, and then what is Vishidan?
Mataji, excuse me, Mataji, this will be Avestitan, or what will be, how will we pronounce it?
Which
Avasti,
Avishtaha. Taha.
Avishta. Sorry, I was.
No problem.
Avishta.
Yeah, Avishta. So, and then Vishidan. What is he doing in Vishidan? He is
Lamenting.
lamenting. What does it mean to say that? What does it mean that? What does lamentation mean?
Feeling sorry.
You feel sorry? Is that lamentation?
I think after loss, what you feel is lamenting, right?
Like there's some sort of a grief and there's some sort of a sorrow there in lamentation, right? So that is what he's feeling. Go ahead, Anamataji.
Yeah, Mataji is lamenting that what kind of a situation I'm in, that I have to kill them, and see, I have to kill my own
Kingsman.
friends and
Relatives.
kinsmen.
Family.
So relatives, so family.
Yeah.
So that is why he's lamenting.
He's lamenting there, right? And the sorrow is also coming from the impending death that he will see, right? All
Yes,
these things die. So that thing is right.
to some extent.
And this is such an interesting thing because when when the fight begins, so Arjuna has seen, right? He's seen his teachers. We did that yesterday. Matulan, right? Potran, Sakhins, Tatha, right? Tan Samikshasya Panteya. So then he sees all these people, Acharya, so he sees his teacher, Dronacharya. He's his favorite teacher student there, like that. And by the way, my teacher that I was talking about yesterday, who had to undergo a surgery, she came back home. So that's good news.
That's a news, Mataji.
All your prayers and blessings help that. So, so for the teacher, so here's the thing, that he is overwhelmed and he's seeing all that. So when the war starts, what Arjuna does is that, first of all, what he does, and it is so it's so fantastic, it's so interesting to see that how people who are skilled at certain things, they use that. For example, when you take a bow and arrow, right? When you think of bow and arrow, I could only think of like you would use a bow and arrow to kill somebody, right? What else would you have a bow and arrow, right? It's a weapon. But Arjun, what he does is that first arrow that he releases is that he releases that arrow and it falls at the lotus feet of Dronacharya, for his teacher. So that is his way of offering his obeisances. So I'm on that side of the war. Teacher, I'm offering you my obeisances and also asking for forgiveness because I might have to kill you. Like that. And then what Dronacharya does is that Dronacharya is his teacher, right? So the teacher will always be better than you, right? So the teacher, Dronacharya, goes and releases an arrow, and that arrow goes and touches the head of Arjuna. So look at this beautiful thing, and that is his blessing, So he's saying, okay, if you're going to kill me, then kill me, like that. I'm destined to die. And so this is such a beautiful way of how these both are expert archers, Arjuna and Dronacharya, and how they're using that weapon in such a nice way, not for killing each other, but one is offering respect and one is giving his blessings.
Obviously.
So we also have to remember that when we were talking about that he's seeing his family members, in those days, the family members were not just the human beings. And the family members were also all the animals, the horses, the mules, the elephants, anybody who's there. That was also considered to be a family. So when he's Vishidan, right, when he's full of lamentation and grief, he's grieving for all those people as well. And you see that thing is still over here also, that when people have a pet, I've seen that a lot here. They address the pet as a, if you have a dog, they'll call it as a son or a daughter, like that. So they do consider that also members of a family. But then it's not just that it should not just be sentiments. It should also be that, if the dog is sick, then you really take care of the dog and you don't take it to the vet and for an injection to finish the life because you are too busy to take care of a sick dog, like that. So when you consider somebody as a family member, your responsibility and your duty is huge. And so obviously, Arjun is kind of like, thinking about all that thing, right? And when we see those the family members, because of our bodily concept, right, we are attached to all of them, right? So now one thing to keep in mind is that Arjun here is looking at all these, and who else saw? There was a lot of seeing going on there, right? Who else was seeing in this first chapter?
Duryodhana.
Duryodhana was seeing, right? Now, what did Duryodhana go? Duryodhana came straight to the point, right? He said, Bhavan Bhishmasya Karnasya Kripasya Mitinjaya Ashvathama Vikarnasya Somadatti Datevacha Anyecha Bahava Shura. He's talking completely military talk.
And Sanjay was saying the whole thing.
Yeah. And so he's talking about warriors, right? He did not say that, my uncle, my aunts, my this and my that, right? But look at Arjuna's way of seeing, right? Arjuna is talking about Matulan, Sachuran, Potran, right? Like that, Suhadin. So there's a difference in how Duryodhana looks at the same situation and how Arjuna is looking at the same situation. And there is a difference, right? There's a difference because there's a difference between the two people over there, right? So it is good. He's having this compassion. It is good thing. But we have to remember that he is a warrior. So he has his duties to do. And then we also have to remember that there is a higher thing that he has to see as an Aryan, as a person who belongs to the Aryan civilization. Aryans understand the spiritual aspect of things. So Arjun should have also looked at that. So one thing is that when you perceive something with your eyes, right? So you just perceive something with your eyes and you just see what you see without applying your intelligence to what you are seeing. So your eyes are an instrument. And we know that these are roaming. We talked yesterday that our senses are roaming. So the eyes will roam all over the battlefield and collect a lot of information, data for you and present it before you, right? So then between the I and the soul is the mind, and between the mind and the soul is the intelligence. So the intelligence has to do something. The intelligence is supposed to process that information and not just go by whatever you are seeing on upfront like that, on the face of it as we see, right? So if we do not do that, if we just let the senses dominate us, then definitely guaranteed in this material world, we are going to be put into ignorance, complete ignorance. What is the biggest ignorance?
That we are this
I am
body.
this body.
I am this body, correct, for 20 points, right? So let us look at some of the older verses that we have, right? So let me bring up, let's go to 20, 21, and 22, and maybe 23 also. So let's go to 20 quickly. And let's see here. So anybody wants to read? Whose turn is it to read?
Myself, Mataji.
Mine one.
Right. So yes, you were supposed to do that purport. Okay, do the translation here. Okay.
At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
These words, right? So one thing, just a small thing I wanted to point out, that this is bow and not bow, right? Bow is a verb, something that you do, like how the actors will bow down before you, or your obeisances, you bow down, but this is his bow, right? Bow and the arrow. So this is his bow that he's using. Okay, good. So then what he's doing, he looked at the sons of Dhritarashtra, right? And then he's speaking something to Krishna. Okay. Now let's go to the next verse and see. So he started that, he was beginning to fight, right? He was just beginning. And then next one, Manasi.
Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms.
Right? So he tells him that I want to just go and see who are these people who have come here and who have got this desire to fight with me, right? That's what he's saying. Yodhu kaman avastitham, right? Those who have got the desire to fight with me. So that is his mood, right? That is his mood. That is Arjuna's mood. And let's go to the next verse, 23. And sorry, here, translation. Who's that turn is it?
Yeah, Mataji.
Chaitanya Mataji, I think.
Okay. Chaitanya 1, Chaitanya 2, Chaitanya 3. It goes to the next. It goes to the next in line, please.
Yourself, Mataji.
Okay, let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. So we had talked about Durbudher, and Durbudher was translated into mean that he's the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra, right? Right? So at that point in time, what Arjuna is thinking of is that this is actually a war between good and evil. So if somebody is on the side of the evil, they have to be punished. And of course, I am on the side of the virtuous people because Yudhishthira is very, very virtuous person. And of course, Krishna, like, he's the source of all virtuousness. So I am on their side. So all that I have to do is like, come on, show me. So he's like, come on, show me who are these person that I have to kill in this battle. Tell me who they are. Let's take the chariot in between of these people, the durbuddhis and these evil-minded, Well, from the perspective of a warrior, that's a very realistic thing he's doing. He's seeing that, these are evil-minded people. And yeah, on a material plane, that is what it might be the right thing that he's doing, right? But at least he's doing the right thing. But then he's not thinking deeper into it, right? So what happens is that as he's looking at the other side, right, and other aspect of it, and he starts seeing them as his relatives, right? And as soon as that he starts seeing that relative, he gets that feeling of compassion. That is, what is the word that we used for compassion?
Yes, Mother.
Now tell me, what was the word, Varshana?
Kripya.
Kripaya.
Kripaya, right? So this is the word compassion. The word is kripaya. And we said that, that's a feeling that you get for others, right? And then kripa is, what is kripa?
Mercy.
Mercy,
Mercy.
right? Right. So when you are feeling, compassion for somebody, then you will give them your mercy, right? So keep that in mind, that kripa is a feeling that is inside you, and kripa is something that you give to the others, right? That's why we're asking God for your causeless mercy. Give me your causeless mercy. And when God feels compassion for us, he will give it. So Arjuna is, has got these overwhelming thoughts that he knows that it's a bloody fight, and the bloody, it's like, it's my own blood. It's my family members who are going to fight. And so then he gets into this compassion, Vishidan idam abravit, right? So he gets lamentation. And so when this particular name of this chapter is observing the armies in the battlefield, right? That's how it translates it. Now, if you look at, in some of the versions of Bhagavad-gita, you see the colophones at the end of it, right? The two lines that talks about what we summarizes what we have talked about in this particular chapter. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. And then what do we say here? Arjun Vishad Yogo Nama Prathamo Adhyayah, like that, right? So sometimes the name that is used is Arjun Vishad Yoga, and Sanya Vishad Yoga is another thing, right? So Vishad is something that, again, it's one of those words in English, in Sanskrit language, that won't have an equivalent in the English language. The closest that you come to Vishad is despair, Sometimes you also say, people say in English, it's the yoga of despair, like that, right? Despair. Vishad, there will be some flavors of depression, and, some flavor also of that there is a crisis there. So, those are also things that come under Vishad. But what I wanted to point out here is that also some people, some of the commentators on Bhagavad Gita will also use the word Sanya Vishad Yoga. So let's first focus on the word yoga. What does yoga mean?
Connect.
With whom?
Supreme.
Yeah.
Connection with the Supreme.
Connect to the Supreme.
Right. So then here, some call it Sanya Vishad Yoga, some call it Arjun Vishad Yoga. So Sanya Vishad is that you're looking at the armies, right? And then something has happened, right? So who is looking in the beginning?
Sanjay.
Sanjay
Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjay. Sanjay is looking.
Yeah, Sanjay is doing the looking over. And then as part of the looking over, we also come across that there was a little bit, and Sanjay is narrating it, that the looking over the Sanya or the armies was also done by Duryodhan, right? That's a narration that's going on. Yeah. So there is a Duryodhan's looking at is lost inside that, right? So Duryodhan is also doing Sanya erection, and of course, after some time, Arjuna is starting to do the Sanya erection. So up until the point where you says Tata Shweter Hare Yukte, right? Mahati Sandane Sitau Madhava Pandavascheva Shanko Dadma Pramatmatu, right? So Pradadmatu. So he goes up till there where the chariots have arrived, right? Up until that point, it is Sanjay who's looking at all that. And then in that looking, we also see that Duryodhan was there. Now we notice that Duryodhan is not calling them as my brother, my teacher, grandfather, and so on, right? Like that. So this means that he is not attached to them. Because if you're attached as Arjuna is, then you will immediately say, oh, he's my grandfather, he's my this, he's my that, right? Like that. So, right, so we will come back to that a little later. And then Arjuna does that. He's looking at that. So you could get connected. You could get connected to the Lord, from the perspective of just looking at the armies and death involved and the crisis and things like that. That's one way that you will, go and get connected to Krishna. And then Other way is the Arjuna Vishad. You know, Arjun himself gets into that mood, right? And in that, from that mood, and because we know that Krishna is Achyuta, he'll take care of all of us, you know, and Krishna does take off Arjuna. So that's Arjuna Vishad Yuga also. So going back to our friend Duryodhan, why did he lose that attachment? Right? And it's a very interesting thing that one of the enemies, 6 enemies of mind is greed. And greed can make you give up your bodily affections. So in the wrong way, but because we always tell that, you know, give up your affection, give up your affection, don't be too attached, don't be too attached. So from that perspective, Duryodhan is perfect, right? He's not even seeing them as my uncle, my aunt, my this and my that, as Arjuna is doing. But Duryodhan has got a wrong reason for being not being attached to these people, and the reason is greed. All that he wants is
Wealth, Hastinapur.
yeah, the kingdom, all of it. सुई की नोक के बराबर भी जमीन नहीं दूंगा. I will not give you, right, land even as big as the tip of a needle. I won't give you that. I want all of it for myself. So that is the greed. Can you also, so in the greed, people will do these things. They will kill their own people. Do you know, or do you remember from history anybody killing anybody?
Yeah, all the time.
See that?
All the time. Like Cleopatra, they fought for Cleopatra. There was a war for that.
And so brothers will kill, right?
Yeah.
Two brothers might, one of them might kill the other, like that. What about Kamsa?
Mhm.
What did Kamsa do? Did he kill, or what did he do?
He imprisoned his own dad.
He imprisoned his own dad. Why? Because he wanted to rule. Like, you old man, you're no good at ruling. I want to rule my style. Okay, take him and throw him into the dungeons, right? So people do that. Among the Mughal empires, you know, Aurangzeb.
Mughal Empire, yes.
Right?
Mm.
Yeah.
All of them, they did that.
I mean, they did that, and then he killed his father.
Yeah, Aurangzeb, Babar, everybody did that.
They killed his brother. Yeah. So they do that. So it's a, yeah. So where are the family attachments? No family attachment, because you are so much attached to something else. So when it comes to material attachment, right? So and which is laden with greed, then you will not care for any type of bodily relationships, right? So that is one level of, you know, that you don't have attachments. Then, you know, you could be in that state as Duryodhana is. But then you could also be in a higher state where you are attached to material relationships, and your attachment is because of a sense of duty. I am the only child. I have to take care of my parents, right? So there's an attachment is there. And it's not a wrong attachment. It's not that they should not do the duty, but we are just going through and talking about the different types of, you know, situations that you can be with relationship to your family, familiar attachments, right? And what is the highest attachment that you can have?
To your own body.
Attachment to Krishna.
Attachment to Krishna. Exactly right, right? Attachment to Krishna. And so that is the highest. And that kind of attachment is actually a spiritual attachment, right? It's a spiritual attachment because Krishna is spiritual, right? So if you're trying to have a relationship with him, then you will get those qualities, right? And so it's a spiritual attachment. And what the interesting thing about the spiritual attachment is that you do not become indifferent to their material relationships, right? So you will recognize and you will take care of those relationships also, but those relationships become a subordinate to your relationship with Krishna, right? So at the lowest level is that you don't have those relationships, and it is due to greed. And who is in that level?
Duryodhan?
Duryodhan, right? Another word for that kind of a situation is adharma, right? It's completely bad. Then there is aparadharma. Aparadharma is actually dharma here in this material world, my duty, my this, my that, right? And who is there in that situation there?
Arjuna.
1.27, right? Arjuna is there. And keep this in mind that it is required. It's not that you should not have paradharma, because if you don't follow paradharma, there'll be chaos in the society. So you need to maintain some order, and so you will do that, right? And then paradharma is, when you have a relationship with Krishna. Para is beyond this material nature. So when you have a relationship with Krishna, then you are at that level. And Arjuna is not at that level yet. But Krishna is going to take Arjuna to that particular level, walking him through all the 18 chapters of the Bhagavad-gita, right? And teaching him how to use his intelligence, apply the intelligence on top of what he is seeing with his eyes. Because if you do not do that, if you just see things with your material eyes as they are, as it is put in front of you, then spiritual knowledge might be a little difficult to get. And to address that situation in a spiritual manner might be a very difficult thing for us to do. And you can see, I mean, that this situation over here that we are relishing every day, I was, thinking about that last night, that we are right now in a war-like situation. It's the war against Corona and whatnot. And the Mahabharata was a world war, and everybody was there fighting, and the war has begun, right? How did the war begin? In which verse did the war begin? I'm not looking for number, but tell me the contents of the verse. How did we know that the war has started?
Blowing of the
The-
conch shells.
They
Blowing
were
of the conch shell.
Blowing of the conch shells, right? So those conch shells have already been, have been, the curtain has been drawn on that. Conch shells have already started, right? So there's already a chaos. And, so it's a crisis situation. War is a crisis, right? It is a crisis situation already. And so there are, Panamanaka, Go Mukhaha, right? And then we always use the tumlobhyadayan, right? So there was a lot of tumultuous sounds that were created there. So there's all this thing. So there's crisis on all the front. And then there is this super crisis on top of it, that this great man Arjuna is now getting Vishidanna, right? He's now lamenting. He's lamenting, and he's now thoroughly confused. So there is a crisis there, right? There's a crisis there. And the good news is that, through that crisis, and because of that crisis, he's going to connect to Krishna. And that is why, and actually, crisis, we are more likely to connect with Krishna when there's a crisis than when we are in a happy situation. So we should see that whenever crises come in our life, and that's what Kunti Maharani says, that, Vipada is much better. Vipada sadhu tat satvat, tattva tattva jagat guru, bhavato darshanam yatsat, right? So he says that Vipada is much better to Krishna, because we at least get your darshan. Because whenever they were in deep crisis, Krishna would come to rescue. And afterwards, when the war has been won, Yudhishthira is already the king. And so now Krishna is going back to Dwarka. And she's missing him. And she's saying, now that you're going there, how will we see you? So she's saying, it is better to have crisis over there, right? Because what happens when you are in the crisis is that in a crisis, there's an opportunity for all of us to grow, right? You will give your best. You'll give your best. And sometimes you see that, it happens a lot in countries where stray dogs are there on the streets. And so there'll be a tiny, a little, a weak kind of a dog. And then there are 6 very mighty dogs, and they are chasing this little one and the weak one. And the weak one will put the tail between his legs and he'll run like that. And they have a special way of, they won't bark. Like the bigger one will be doing like ruff, 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 like that, and the smaller will be like, ow, ow, like this is how they do. And when this little one is actually cornered and all the big dogs are really coming up on him, this little one will not turn and say, "Rawr," like that. So when you are in extreme crisis, that is the time when, your best actually comes out from you like that. So, and we see that in this deep crisis that Arjuna is finding himself, right? He's finding that he is faced with having to kill his own people. Up until now, for him, it was just like they are evil-minded sons of the Dhritarashtra. They are bad. They should be killed. And even before the war started, he was talking about that, we should have the war. We should have the war. But then now he's not thinking through properly. He just looked at it as the eyes are seeing, and there he's seeing my brother, my uncle, my aunts, and all that kind of stuff. And now he's like, I won't fight. He'll say that soon enough. I won't fight, which is a big crisis there. But then from that crisis becomes an opportunity for growth. So Arjuna is actually enacting all these, we know that, but these are messages for us that when there is a crisis in life, it's a time for us to grow and best. And as Vaisheshika Prabhu says, let us not waste this crisis. So I'm very happy that, we are not doing it. Because of the corona crisis that we have right now, we have decided to sit down. Now we are shelter in place, which got extended to another month here in San Mateo and other counties here. So we have to stay inside the home. So best use is don't waste this crisis. Use it for you. So it's 7:35 now. Any last comments that we have?
Mataji, can you please repeat one more time for Paradharma?
For the adharma, dharma and paradharma, like that?
Yes, the Paradharma.
Yeah. So paradharma is beyond. Para is beyond the material. Okay. So paradharma, what happens is that you have a relationship with Krishna, right? And then when you have a relationship with Krishna, it doesn't mean that you give up your material relationships. You will start viewing your material relationships in relationship with Krishna. Okay. So instead of saying that this is my husband, right? You will first see your husband as Mame Vansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. You will look at him as a soul who is a part of Krishna. You see? Okay. So it's not that we neglect that relationship. We just, see it in a different light, which is the right light. Because now in that seeing, we are applying our intelligence. Rather than just seeing, oh, here comes my husband, handsome guy, like that, right?
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, I have one thing that came to my mind, and I thought I ask you about this. Like you just said, that in crisis, there is an opportunity to grow or do the best we have to do. But this is for the people who know about Krishna or are willing to learn about Krishna or go to some kind of a god that they believe in general people I'm talking about. So some people in crisis just crash down. They go in depression, they die, they go on drugs, alcohol. What about those people who has no knowledge about Krishna or any shelter? Nothing.
Yeah, and you see pictures of them, right, on the videos that are floating around on internet. People are protesting. They have no, and this crisis is actually showing us the stark difference between if you have Krishna in your life and you don't have Krishna in your life, right? They will go out with a gun, they will go out with this and that, they will go crazy. They have no faith that Krishna will provide for you. They will want to go and buy everything in the market and keep it in their refrigerator, and then it'll rot, it'll throw like that. So yes, it shows the importance of having and the benefits of having Krishna in our lives, because that helps you so much to handle a crisis.
That's true. And that's why I think we distribute books, right?
Absolutely. Now you see the whole picture. And I mean, Vaisheshika Prabhu was telling that it is a crisis that the temple has closed. It's a crisis, isn't it? People who go there for darshan and to get some peace and solace, the doors are shut. You cannot get inside the temple. So it's a crisis. But then how did they manage the crisis? They came, used the technology, started Zoom calls, started this, started that. And we are there. Either you can fight the crisis like that and continue on with your devotional service, or you can say, temple is closed, I'm going to sit with Maya in my little room. I'll open up a bag of chips and switch on the television. The choice is completely ours, right? Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
have a quick question.
Mhm.
So, Dronacharya, Bhishma Dev, are they doing aparadharma or paradharma?
You tell.
Paradharma?
Look at on the face of it. Now we have to remember sometimes it becomes difficult to analyze these leelas, right? Because we know that Bhishma Pitama is a devotee of the Lord, right? So for the time being, we go away from that, right? And then look at Bhishma Pitama and tell me what is he doing.
Paradharma.
Paradharma.
And why do you say paradharma?
Because Mother, yes, Prabhu, please carry on.
He was serving Krishna's plan, actually.
Yes, you are a devotee, so you are seeing that, right? So with the eyes of a devotee, Bhishma Pitama is doing paradharma because he's doing that. Because if he will not fight, then this war will not happen, right? If the war will not happen, how will the Bhagavad-gita be spoken for us? Right? Bhagavad-gita was spoken not for Arjuna. That was a play. It is spoken for us. So he is an instrument in doing that. So that way he's serving Krishna's purpose in life, right? So Krishna's purpose of coming here. And so that way he's doing a paradharma. But if you don't look at that angle, but look at other aspects of what he did, what dharma was he doing? He was following his duty, right? He was saying, I'm tied to the Hastinapur. हस्तिनापुर के सिंहासन से मेरे हाथ बंधे हुए हैं. So he was tied to the sinhasan, and that way he was doing his, aparadharma, like that. So we also have to raise ourselves to that situation. And the beauty and the beauty of doing anything with Krishna is that your material side of the life, you don't lose on that material side of the life. It'll become better. Because as you become a devotee, your relationships with your family members will get better. It's just that we have to bump up our devotional service so high. Because sometimes what happens is that we just come across devotional service and we like it so much, and then we try to thirst it down the throat of our relatives, and they don't take it. And then we come back and complain and say, my husband doesn't become a devotee, my parents don't become a devotee, and this and that. They're not attracted to this nice Krishna katha that I want to tell them, right? But remember that Krishna is all attractive. Krishna attracts people. And so you are a magnet. Like a devotee is a magnet, and suppose non-devotees are iron, then devotee is a magnet that will attract them. So if they are not getting attracted to you, all that you have to do is to become a better magnet. Become a stronger magnet. And if the magnet is really strong, and I used to love playing this game as a small child. We had a magnet, and we didn't have toys like the way kids have toys nowadays. A floor full of toys. And so we used to have some magnet that actually fell off of some other device. So we had a magnet. And then there was very tiny filaments were there of iron filament that also we got from something else. So that was the big game, was to bring the magnet close and slowly bring the magnet towards the iron. And at one point in time, the iron particle filament would jump and sit on the magnet. Like, yay, this happened. And that was our pastime, of spending your summer vacation like that. So you have to become like that magnet so that people will jump and get attracted towards you, and it will happen. It'll happen. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva shastra, sarva siddhi kaya. So haya. So sadhu sangha sarva shastra kaya. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoya. So just a fraction of association with a pure devotee of the Lord, of the sadhu of exalted stature, it's going to affect you, right? People will get attracted. What happened to Prabhupada when he came here? Right? He was able to attract so many. Right? Like that. And all that he did was, he said, I've come here to glorify Krishna. He sits down in a park in New York. How bold is that? Right? We would just think, I'm not wearing the right European clothes. I don't have the right accent. I should speak like American and things like that. He didn't do any of that. He sat down and he preached in his thick Bengali accent. And those who wanted to get it, got it. Even with the Bengali accent, they got it. Right? So you
It
have
depends on how pure you are, no?
Yeah.
How
And Mataji, I read Srila Prabhupada's that calendar every day's message. I read that, yes, I read every day. And it says, he tells all the hippies, see, I have done this to you. Now don't start again smoking and drinking and become what you were. Now you have to follow what you are doing now. And that is what you see. I really like this message of his.
Yes, don't go back.
Don't go back.
Yeah. And Maya is there to pull you back all the time. Yeah.
Maya is very strong, unbelievably strong, Mataji.
Yeah.
It's just.
And
Yeah.
Mataji, as you were saying, the purpose, Krishna's purpose was to keep the dharma and get rid of away of the adharma. So that was his purpose, and that is why this wonderful.
That's why all this happened. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just trying to write something here. Okay, then should we call it a day here on the call? It's 7:44.
Yes.
Our time. Okay. So tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yeah. So we will meet tomorrow on Thursday.
Yes.
Same time. And today is Wednesday. We are going to have a reading from Srimad Bhagavatam at 6 p.m. our time. Vaisheshika Prabhu is going to read today there. Okay.
Mataji, I got a mail. It's saying that it's 7 p.m. of your time.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you are right. 7 to 8:30.
Yes.
Yeah. My bad. Okay, thank you so much for those who are joining us online and as well as those who are on the Zoom, which is online as well. Vanchukalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyascha patitanam Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hari Krishna.
Have a wonderful day.